So I want to talk about the different levels of sin. Some of y'all I know have heard of these terms, but you may not know the differences or the definition of it. But I want to start out talking about sin. Sin is just an evil act against God or someone else, whether it's intentional or unintentional, and just going against his commands and just going against him, period. And of course, going against someone is going against God, because God says to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So the next term that I want to speak on is trespassing. When you trespass is when you take things too far, when you intentionally disobey God and take things too far. And a good example of that would be when Peter denied Jesus 3 times. And that makes sense as to where they got the term trespass, like when you're actually trying to trespass someone from your house or just your company or whatever, when you put someone on trespass. So that makes sense as to where I'm pretty sure, got that term from. Iniquity. This is a sin that is premeditated and that you have not asked for forgiveness for or repented, and it only gets worse. When you commit iniquity, it also hardens your heart, which also leads to blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, and blasphemy of the Holy Spirit is an unforgivable sin. Transgressions is a willful, presumptuous sin, and an example of that is when people say and do things like, oh, I'm going to do it, but God will forgive me. That's a sin. Iniquity and transgressions are much alike, and transgressions is more physical, and iniquity is more internal, or definitely starts out more internal, which then leads to the physical, which is a transgression. All of this then leads to strongholds because it is engraved in your mind, which means it's in your heart, which then leads to action. It's about repetition and pattern. This is why our thoughts, even just our thoughts alone, are a sin.